Hello my friends and welcome to today's video. I'm Jeanette with Vivo Vintage Designs. I posted on my Facebook page and a few groups my collection of cards that I've made over time, and I had so many questions about them that I thought I would do a video and show you how I make these cards and what I use. So I make a lot of these cards out of, well, most of these, in fact, all of these cards are made out of watercolor paper. You can buy already made cards at Michael's or anywhere with envelopes already, but I prefer to use this watercolor paper. I can't remember the name of the company that makes it, but I did purchase it on Amazon, and I will put the link in the description box so you can take a look if you're interested in purchasing it as well. It's very inexpensive. I think I got like 50 sheets for about $12. And it's very heavy watercolor paper. It's not great for watercolor, but it's perfect for making these cards because it's really nice and thick. It has a good weight to it. So what I do is I cut it to whatever size that I want, and I use it to make cards, gift tags, and bookmarks. So let me show you a couple of examples of ones that I've already made. So these bookmarks were made with this paper. I just went crazy and painted on both sides of the paper, and later on, once it was all dry, I cut it into the size of a bookmark that I wanted, and I added these cute little tassels, which I also purchased on Amazon. Again, very inexpensive. And if you're anything like me, I still like to read paper books. And I give these as gifts, and I also donate them to my local library. So I also have ones that I made from, these are alcohol ink paintings that were just lying around. I wasn't doing anything with them. So I cut them up into small bookmarks, and I draw a couple of borders around them. And again, I donate most of these to my local library, and they are very appreciative. So I'm going to show you some of the cards that I made and gift tags now. So these are tiny little cards. I love the little shape, the little size cards. You can put these in a box with a gift, or you can put them in a gift bag. If you'd like to make an envelope, I can show you how simple I make my envelopes. So this is a card that I made in one of my recent videos. I just take a piece of copier paper, and usually I have a heavier photocopy paper, but rather copy paper. And it makes a really nice envelope. So I just lay the card in the middle, and I fold it over, and I use a glue stick to seal it, and I can put a cute little sticker on there. But I am thinking of getting the wax that you melt and then you put the stamp on it to seal my cards better. I think it would be really pretty, but it goes through the mail just fine. So don't worry about envelopes. I mean, if you're making really big cards, that might be a problem, but if you're making small cards, it's never a problem. These cards I don't mail, but this size here I would mail. And this again, well, you can see these are very simple. I used alcohol ink markers and Micron pens to create these. Very simple, but really cute. This one here was an alcohol ink painting, and these are Posca pens and Micron pens that I used on there. Wasn't doing anything with the painting, so I cut them into heart shapes, adhered them onto more paper that I used metallic watercolor paint on. I used alcohol ink markers, Micron pens, all sorts of stuff. Again, this was done with alcohol ink markers and Micron pens, and you see how adorable this is. So these are a few that I've done, and again, I love these little sizes. They're perfect to stick in a bag. And these little gift tags, I'm going to show you how to make these. And this card here has a bookmark inside. So 2 gifts in one. And this one I showed you recently. This is alcohol ink. I cut it out and adhered it to another card. This one here is done with watercolor, very loose painting. Again, watercolor. And this is directly on this inexpensive watercolor paper. When you use watercolor on it, you can see the color sits right on top and you get some of these cauliflowers, but I kind of like the way it looks. And this one was done with the alcohol ink markers. I showed you how I did that one recently. So here I have a pumpkin that I painted in watercolor, and I really like the way it turned out. And what I do is I take the paper, I cut it to the size that I want. This particular sheet I just took and folded it in half. Once I know where my crease is, I take a ruler, I put it down on the crease, and I take a stylus, the ones with the little ball at the end, and I run it across there because it creates a better fold. So my card will fold nicely. And I'm going to put this pumpkin on here, and of course I'm going to add a border because that's what I do. And I'll adhere it with just a simple Elmer's washable school glue stick. And I like this one because it goes on purple, but it dries clear. So that's how I would adhere a painting, whether it be alcohol ink or watercolor, onto one of these cards. All right, so I'm going to show you today how to do this little card. Again, very, very simple, and we'll do this little bookmark, not bookmark, gift tag. All right, so I have some alcohol ink markers. You can use watercolor, you can use any markers that you have, if you have brush pens, whatever you have on hand. So the alcohol ink markers making borders very easy. I find that pulling the pen toward me makes my lines a little bit more straight. And I'm not trying to get them perfect. I just want them to be kind of straight. All right, let's do this color. And I'll remind you while I'm doing this that all the products used in this video will be listed in the description box below, along with links. So if you'd like to know more about these products, or if you would like to purchase them for yourself, take a look in that description box. And if you have any questions about anything that you see me do here, leave it in the comment section and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I do read and respond to every comment, and I love hearing from you all. Also, if you would like to show your support for my channel, you can do that by simply giving me a thumbs up, leaving a comment, or subscribing if you haven't already. Okay, so I'm just going to fill in this center now. And I'm keeping this pretty simple, but of course you can get as crazy as you want. It's a lot of fun, and I think it's so much more personal when you give someone a card that you made yourself, and you can write your own message in it as opposed to a message that was written by somebody else. So we're going to do this little branch here, tiny little leaves. It's really, really simple. So we're going to start by drawing our main branch, and then we're going to do the little branches from it. So you can see you don't really have to be able to draw. You have to be able to make a line. And as I get closer to the bottom, I will make them a little bit shorter. And then for the leaves, I'm just doing this tiny little loop. That's all. And then just fill in your stems with these little loops. And then we'll come back and do the borders on this. Let me fill this in and I'll come back in a moment. All right, so I finished filling in my leaves. And again, a very simple design. Now I'm going to switch to a wider tip or a larger tip micron pen. This is a 08. And I'm just going to outline my borders. Again, drawing the pen toward me because my lines come out a little bit straighter. But again, I'm not trying to be perfect. You can use a ruler, of course, if you're one of those people that has to have it be perfect. There's nothing wrong with that. And there you go. Cute little card. I wrote love on this one, but you can write something simple on here. I'm going to give a try at some, I can't talk and write at the same time. Cute little message, whatever you want. Hello was the first thing that came to mind for me. All right, so there you have a very simple but really cute little card. So now with the holidays coming, I thought that showing you how I create these little gift tags would be fun. They're great to just tie with a little piece of string to a gift bag, or even stick it to your bow on a Christmas present, or any gift at all. So I keep my scrap paper. This is that same watercolor paper that I mentioned before. And all I do is just clip the corners of it. I try to keep it straight, but if it is, that's great. And if it's not, it's okay too. And then I have a hole punch, which of course is not down here at the moment. So I just punch a hole on the end of it here. So what we're going to do to create this little guy here, again with the alcohol ink markers, which makes life a lot easier, I'm going to do my border. Well, that didn't work out so well. Okay. And for the center, I'm using a light gray, and I just squiggled like that. And again, using my 03 micron pen. When I draw these flowers with the micron pen on the bookmarks, I like to put in my center first, and I just draw a few little dots. And I like to create my bottom petal first, in most cases. And then I'll paint, or rather draw my back petal, because this is kind of like a profile. And then I'll fill in with the side petals. Put in my stem and a couple of leaves. And to create, make this a little bit bigger. To create these little lines for detail in my flowers, I prefer to use a micron pen with a smaller nib. This one is a 0.15 or a 003. And as I tell you all the time, flick, don't draw any straight lines. flick your marker and try to keep your lines going in the direction of the petals. Let's draw some veins in these leaves. And for the holidays, of course, you can draw some snowmen, snowflakes, anything you like. And then on the back, you can write your little to, love, and there you go. A great little gift tag. And what's wonderful about this is, let me show you something. I'll be right back. Okay, I have these little cellophane bags, and I do like to give these as gifts. I give them to my neighbors around the holidays, or even as a little birthday gift. I throw a couple of these little cards together and even a couple of little gift tags, and I slip them inside one of these little cellophane bags. Fold it over, and then I put some ribbon around it, and I give it as a gift. And I don't know about you, but if someone gave me something like this that was made by hand, I would be really, really touched, and I would absolutely love it. They make great little thank you cards, and saves you a trip to the store. And we all know how expensive cards are today. So I hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial and that you give making these little cards a try. They're a lot of fun, and you can use, like I mentioned, your alcohol ink paintings that you're not using. You can cut them up and make, like this one, the heart shapes, adhere them to a card, and you can make really wonderful bookmarks. So many things that you can do. So I hope you give this a try. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.